Hey, it's Iris Smith. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, in this video, I'm going to answer another question that I received from someone that I'm working with. And that question is, how do I bounce back from repeated job rejection? Whether you've been actively searching for a job or not, we all know how feels to have been on a job interview, feel quite good about it, have a positive feeling about it, and then get that dreaded rejection call. Or even worse, if you have spent quite a bit of time on putting your resume together, writing a cover letter, sending it out, and then hear nothing but crickets. So I'm going to share 3 tips with you on how to bounce back from repeated job rejection. But before I do that, please like this video if you like it and subscribe to my channel. It will help me to grow this channel and it will tell me exactly what kind of content you're finding valuable. All right, let's get to it. Tell me, what do you do when you get rejected for a job? Do you start to doubt yourself, wondering what you did wrong or what you're lacking? Do you lose hope or confidence, thinking really that there's no use because you wouldn't get a job like that anyway? Do you kind of shrug your shoulders, but on the inside feel really disappointed and maybe even a bit hurt? Or do you not do much at all because you think that you can't really do anything anyhow? Look, these are totally valid things to feel and to think and to do. Getting rejected isn't much fun, whether it happens for the first time or for the 50th time. And whilst that sting might never 100% go away, there are some things you can do to respond to it or deal with it in a more healthy and constructive way. Tip number 1, take yourself out of it. What do I mean with that? Well, this. We tend to take rejection very personally, and whilst that is totally understandable, it's not very helpful. You have to realize that big companies get on average 250 applications per job. 250! There are only so many hours in a day and only so many CVs a recruiter or hiring manager can sift through. That's why 98% of large companies use a so-called applicant tracking system, or ATS, to automate the first step of the hiring process. An ATS will scan through each applicant's CV and automatically reject those who are not a good fit or a good predefined match for the advertised position. So what this means is that your application might never have reached a human being. Your CV is literally, and your application has literally been filtered out through a system. Or if you did make it through to an interview and got rejected afterwards, realize that there might be a ton of reasons as to why you didn't get a job. And often this got more to do with the person who did get a job. For example, they may have found someone who matched the job description to a T, or they may have found someone that the hiring manager or the recruiter already knew. Or they may have found someone who had specific knowledge or specific experience in something that they highly valued. So as I said, more often than not, rejection has got more to do with the person that they hired than it has to do with you. Tip number 2, never waste an opportunity to learn. I know, this sounds so cheesy, but it is true. What's the point in sending out application after application after application or going to interview after interview after interview without learning why you're not succeeding? They say insanity is making the same mistakes over and over again, but expecting different results. So whenever you don't get invited for that job interview or whenever you don't get that job offer, make sure you take it as an opportunity to learn and to do it better next time. Here are some things you can do. Ask for feedback. Reach out to the recruiter, thank them for the opportunity and for letting you know the outcome, and ask for specific feedback. Was it your CV that lacked relevance? Was your cover letter not convincing enough? Or did you do something in the interview that didn't bring across specific skills or knowledge that was required for this role. Another thing you can do to learn from your rejection is to master the art of applying for jobs. For example, by making sure that your CV is rich in keywords that are essential for the job. This is especially important if the company that you're applying for uses there you have it again, ATS for the first step of the hiring process. An application tracking system scans a CV for keywords that are relevant for the job that's advertised. And if your CV isn't rich in those keywords that the ATS is looking for, your CV will automatically be ditched and you'll be filtered out of the system. Where can you find those relevant keywords? What am I talking about even here? This is something you can find out by studying the job advert. Highlight any specific skills or experience that jump out of you. Those are the keywords. So you want to make sure you have in your CV when you post the application and when you submit the application. Tip number 3, go on rejection therapy. Now, if you're really struggling with rejection, whether that's professionally or personally, this third tip might really help you. Go on rejection therapy. And I hear you ask, what on earth is rejection therapy? It's simply a method to get used to rejection, because often when we experience something that we feared or dreaded, and we realize that actually we're able to deal with it, it has less of an impact on us next time it happens. Now, I'm not saying to send out tons of job applications and get a bunch of rejections so you get used to it. I mean, that would be quite harsh. But what I am saying is this: start doing small things that pose a risk of getting rejected. For example, reach out to your favorite author, telling them how much you enjoyed their latest book or their work in general, and ask them a question. For example, when the next book will be out or where they find inspiration for all of their books. Or you could ask your favorite celebrity a question in the comments on their Instagram post. Or maybe ask for a discount next time you're buying something. Or reach out to someone who works at a company that you'd love to work for and ask them for a 10 or 15-minute video call to talk more about their experience. All these things pose a risk of being rejected, but they're kind of small. You want to get to a stage where you ask things that kind of terrify you, kind of stretch you, but you know that if you do get a no, that it won't be the end of the world. Then if you do get rejected, notice how you feel and challenge to do something else that makes you feel a little bit icky and a little bit terrified of doing that. Keep doing those things over and over and over and over and over and over again, and you'll realize and you'll see that over time, the more you do these things, the less rejection will get to you. So there you have it. 3 things you can do to deal with rejection in a more healthy and constructive way. Number 1, take yourself out of it. Number 2, never waste an opportunity to learn. And number 3, go on rejection therapy. Now, if you liked any of these and you're going to try them out, please type yes in the comments. I'd love to see it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, go click that thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know more about free training that I'm offering on my website, irissmith.com, to help you find your passion and make it your work, then hop on over to their website and you'll find everything you need there. Thank you, and I'll see you again next week.